With what? With your back?
Yeah, just adjusting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what happened with your back? I saw you had an emergency spinal surgery. What?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm
the
not sure if you
truth.
spoke on it though.
Nah, and I mean we could talk about it on here, but it's like just sleeping on couches, bad back for my family, not taking the best care of myself.
And there was an emergency spinal surgery for that?
Yeah, bro. So like what happened was, do you know like what sciatica is?
I feel like I've seen commercials of something about sciatica nerve.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
So
Okay.
yeah, so the sciatica nerve, it starts at your back, it runs down your leg.
Okay.
And I guess like something got pinched or whatever the fuck. And it just caused just heavy pain and like burning. So I was driving to work one day and I had to pull over on the side of the road and lay down
On the
in
street?
the back. No, in like in the back of my car just to try to like, cause I'm thinking it's like a cramp or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it started there. That was probably like, actually no, I take it back. It started, I was driving back from DC in like March of 2018. And I was just like, oh, this hurts. And then I was like, okay, I'm in a small ass car. I'm a big dude. So like, that's probably what it is. I'm just got a cramp, you know what I'm saying? Pull over,
Small-ass car.
stretch it out, and then get back. And yeah, it just kind of progressively got worse. And then I eventually went and got it checked. I went to the doctor to get it checked out just because the pain was just getting unbearable. And they checked it out and they were like, all right, here's some medication, go home. And I go to stand up
At the doctor's though?
at the hospital and I pissed myself.
What?
Yeah. Like my bladder just unloads.
What? Okay.
And they were like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more serious. We need to go check this out. And thank God they did because they
like it just happened like uncontrollably, just like
Yeah.
instantly?
yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, but it was nerve damage from what did they say it was?
Pinched a nerve or
I
whatever?
pinched a nerve, but it was like worse than that. Like it is like because my spine, I'll send you a photo of it, but like my spine was like this. So it was like I had like 4 vertebrae that were off center. And they were like, yeah, we need to go and fix this because if we didn't take care of it just then I would have been like for real paralyzed. Like I have like partial paralysis in my feet. Like I can walk, but like you know how like when your feet fall asleep?
Yeah.
So my feet have basically been asleep since 2018. So I can feel between like 30 and 40% of my right foot, and I can feel about 60% of my left foot. That's why I have the cane for stability. As you saw in the Crescendo video, I can move around without the cane. And usually like
at the end of the video, when he came to he was feeling himself when he dropped the cane. He was like, "Yeah, we stay ready." I was like, "Come on."
Yeah, I had to get the rapper hands in, man.
Yeah.
Got to get the rapper hands in. But and it was a cool thing. And what's cool about it was that like people thought when I'm in my apartment, I just walk around my apartment. Like you only use my cane like when I'm in public or like when I know I'm gonna be walking for like a long time. But like if I'm at the house, I just keep it by the door.
So how long after that, I guess, was the surgery was like right away?
Yeah,
Right after
yeah, that was like mid-March. Surgery was April 9th of 2018. And just on the mental side of it, there was a whole bunch of shit. I had just moved back down to the 7-5 because like me and my girl had broken up. And then
I think you made a song about her too, right?
on the album, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually a couple of songs about Take the Lead is about her too. But that December before all the back shit happened, I found out that she had cheated on me for like 9 months. And so that happened, and then 4 months later is the surgery shit.
Where were you living at with her before you came back?
No, we were living together, and then we broke up in May of 2017. I moved back down here in October of 2017.
But from where though?
Spotsylvania, Stafford, Northern Virginia.
Okay.
So we had an apartment. We were living together with another roommate, and then we broke up. Well, she broke up with me, and then I was like, "Welp, I have no reason to stay up here. Like I love my family, but I always wanted to come back down here. So I had the reason. I finally had a reason to come back down here, and then 6 months later, I broke my back.
So you have this surgery.
Yeah.
And then you're just like in a wheelchair from then. I know you said, I feel like I seen you post a lot. Doctor said wheelchair, God said otherwise. So the doctors actually told you wouldn't walk again?
Yes. So I was.
My bad, I don't want to cut you off, but before you even get into that, I feel like I've heard a lot of stories of doctors telling people that. And now I'm just like, now I'm thinking like, is that a psychological thing they tell people to make them want to go harder? Or is it like.
I wouldn't be surprised by it because what they did was, so after the surgery, I stayed in the hospital for like a month for physical therapy, all that stuff. So, because like I couldn't, like, once the surgery happened, it wasn't like, okay, I just have this partial paralysis, I can still move around. Like, my legs were done.
It was like way worse after the surgery then. Yeah,
so much weaker. And like I couldn't walk. Kind of a similar thing that Azumi was going through.
I heard did he break his spine?
He broke his leg. I think something was up with his back, but if I remember right, he broke his leg. And luckily,
that's wild too. I heard he got hit by a car like on foot, right?
Yes. Yeah. And luckily, like he's doing good now. Where like I think he just got like all of his I think he got like everything removed. So
I saw that tweet. He said he got all the stitches out and staples and stuff.
So now he's just healing up, which is I'm so fucking happy. But yeah, so like and even when I got home, like when they finally sent me home. Like they sent me home with a walker in May, and they dropped me off. Like they did like the medical transport, dropped me off at the apartment.
Oh, so no wheelchair?
No, because I was like, yo. Because I know me, and I know what I was going through mentally, and because like I deal with like depression and all that stuff, and I know that if I would have went home in a wheelchair, I wouldn't have had the determination
to get out of it.
Because I'm already like this. Like I was gonna marry this girl, bro. Like it was like we literally were talking about wedding plans the day that she broke up with me, not knowing that she was messing around with a dude for.
So even after this injury, this surgery, you get out and you're still thinking about her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was a problem. Like I definitely and you know, hindsight's 20/20. I look back on it now and I'm like, man, like I died. Like people talk about dodging red flags. I just looked at it like it was a fucking carnival. Like I was just like, hey, like we're here. And there was like a lot of mental stuff with that. Like it was a lot. Like very fucked up mentality.
Are you making music at this time?
I
know you've been making music for like 10 years, right?
More than that, like 15.
So through this injury, like before that, like what period are you at in your life, like at that point with music?
I was, let's see, that was like what, 2017. I was still making music. It was under the name, I was going by Tyler Righteous, and I was kind of like just focused on just proving that I could rap better than everybody else. I had a song called Ovation that went really hard, and I wish I could put it up, but I can't.
Why not?
Long story.
Okay.
No, a couple of the people that are on the song, we don't see eye to eye anymore, and it's my fault, and I take responsibility for that.
Side note on that, also, I love that you said that. When you make, because I have content and music with people that I don't see eye to eye with anymore. Yeah. When I listen to that shit, it makes me want to make amends.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Same. Given the situation, I know that that's kind of off the table. And that took a long time for me to come to terms with. Because, like, I never, you never want to be the villain in somebody's story, but eventually you are.
I feel like we're probably all the villains in somebody's story.
No, we are, absolutely. But my thing is like, I'm a fixer. So like, if something is wrong, like if you like 9 times out of 10, if you have a problem with me, like I want to be like, hey, let's try to fix this. And we tried to fix it. I fucked up again, and it was like, you know what? I know where they stand, and I respect it. And yeah, that's kind of where it is. But I do the same thing. I listen to it a week ago. The song a week ago.
Ovation.
And it was so produced by Don Kevo, and it was so freaking hard, dude. And it was like, and it got picked up on a couple of blogs. Like it was on Daily Chiefers. It was on did that get on Elevator? I think that one was on Elevator.
Is Elevator still a thing? I feel like I haven't seen them post in a while.
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. The guy who was kind of like my like writer plug. His name was Hef. He's like an A&R now. Like he was like part of like I think he like helped get like Lil Nas X signed. You know what I mean? And but yeah, he was like writing for a few different blogs. And yeah, we got on an Elevator, which was really cool. And the song is really hard. But yeah.
So you're going by Tyler Righteous.
Tyler Righteous, yes, which was my second rap name.
What was first?
Righteous.
Okay.
Just Righteous. My last name is Wright. And so
okay.
I was hanging with my best friend, and we were watching Finding Nemo for whatever reason.
Fire movie though.
Fire movie, great movie. Finding Dory was
probably the best movie they ever showed in school, maybe.
Word.
That's debatable, but okay.
No, they didn't show it in school for us. My school was weird. We watched like fucking what we watched? We watched fucking Rent. We were not supposed to watch that
Rent?
movie. Yeah, Rent.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
getting y'all ready to pay rent.
So Rent is a musical from I think it was like the 90s. Written by this dude named Jonathan Larson, who's like a legend. And it's basically centered in New York City during the AIDS epidemic. So really dramatic, really like, but it was cool. The music was tight. Like it was fire as hell.
On the AIDS epidemic, I just seen a video. I forgot what podcast it was, but some lady was talking about how when it was like the height of the AIDS epidemic, it was much more scary. It was much more scarier than COVID.
Yeah.
Like, because they were like, a lot more people were dying.
Yeah. Well, and also
it was like young people, like healthy people were dying.
Exactly.
That's why, like, and that time, so it was like big fear of AIDS. Like, I didn't really realize it was like that.
It was a crazy thing. Plus, that was around the same time as, I mean, my timing might be off a little bit, but that was also around the same time that like crack, like really like went platinum.
Like crack was like the 80s, right?
Yeah, but like so was AIDS. Like
okay,
it was like the late 80s, like early 90s, where it was like shit got real. And that's why it was kind of not funny, but it was just like interesting when like people were like, the only reason that people were that it was like the frightening thing with like COVID was that like it spread way quicker, and because we're all more connected now because of social media. Like you got to remember back in the day, like it was just radio and newspaper, so like news didn't travel as fast.
That fear spreads, like,
but because of how scary it was and how new it was or whatever, like no one had ever seen shit like that before.
I think the main reason we were all so scared was just the media coverage of it.
Oh yeah, no, of course,
right. So it's like they hyped it up. I don't want to say they hyped it up like it wasn't a thing to hype up,
right?
But that's what made me so scared about it.
Yeah.
On COVID too, I think the craziest thing about COVID for me was the people that had to die alone in the hospital, where you couldn't go in the hospital to see your family member. I think my boy Jake, mom actually died during that time, and he couldn't go in the hospital. So like, bro, it's crazy to say, but if that happened to me somewhere, I'll be suing the hospital right now. Yeah, I would really be like suing whoever the fuck I could, because that's literally insane. Like,
yeah, it's yeah, I'm grateful that fortunately like COVID didn't have any like heavy hits on my family. I have
me
friends,
either, thank God. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I have friends where it did, and that's tough, man, because like and the only perspective that you can really look at it is from your own. So, and me, where I had just been in the hospital for something out of the blue, like if people weren't able to come visit me, like I would have lost my shit. You know what I mean? But I was very grateful that like my parents would come down and visit. My friends would come and visit. Funny enough, my ex, that was what made it so crazy.
He loved that girl, yeah.
I do, and I did. I did.
We all had that.
For sure. And it's like and she knows, and it was like there's like that understanding. Like she was my first like real relationship, or whatever. But she also drove me to the hospital for my surgery. So it's like, yeah, it ended on bad terms, and I wish it didn't end up that way. But like, if she hadn't taken me to the hospital, I don't know how I would have gotten there, and things could have been way different. So like, there's not any animosity towards her. There's not any. I'm over that. I got my anger out. I got all that stuff. I wrote it all out. So I'm good there. It just kind of, with all of that kind of mixed together, because like I said, that all happened in a 6-month period. Like, and I didn't realize that until not too long ago, where I like sat back and was like reflecting, and I was like, damn, like probably the two most traumatic things in my life happened within 6 months. So it's like,
to me, what I've noticed too about like, you hear people say it like growing up, like trauma, like how trauma helps you grow. Mm-hmm. But I really like seen it in my life firsthand. So it's like, I don't know, like even just on heartbreak, like I probably had like, I would say like 2 heartbreaks in my life.
Right.
One was like high school. One was after high school. So that was like the more recent one.
Right.
And I really remember like feeling like in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But somehow through that, it's like I changed. Mm-hmm. I actually like felt myself growing like through it. And then after it, like realized it about myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think heartbreak is just part of it. We got to go through that shit as men. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, you have to know how it feels to get your heart broke. And I think that's also I feel like with emotions too, like I feel like we go through every emotion so we can appreciate the opposite of it. Mm-hmm. Like didn't 50 Cent say like love, what do you say? Death got to be easy because life is hard. What was the line before that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was like love. Basically like love doesn't mean anything without pain.
Yeah.
Cold. You don't know what cold is till you feel hot.
Exactly.
It's like we have to feel both sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
I think,
you don't know
like self-aware all the way.
You don't know
right?
what joy is until you have sorrow.
Yeah.
There's always going to be duality with it. Like you have to. My problem was I held on to shit. I said it in the Lamb. I said holding on is a problem of mine. Like, from the outside looking in, bro, we broke up in 2017. I'm just now like cool with it in 2023. And honestly, the reason that I'm cool with it is because she's married and had a beautiful baby, which is what she always wanted. I was still trying to figure my shit out. So it was like we both kind of got what we wanted. Like, she wanted a family. I want a family too, but like I wanted to check off a couple of boxes first. And took a little bit longer than expected, but I'm here now and I feel like I'm starting to check off those boxes. So, but those boxes wouldn't have been checked if I didn't go through that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so you're going as Tyler Righteous, you drop Ovation.
Yeah.
You go through this injury, getting back from that. When do you really start making music again after the surgery?
Maybe like 2 weeks after I got home.
Okay, so it's okay.
Cause I'm still on, like, I'm on bed rest. Like, I'm still on leave from work, even though they didn't pay me disability. But like I was still on leave from work. I can't do it on camera. People from my church might be watching. Yeah. And so I just started, because it was all I could do. Like, I was either going to make.
So what, are you like recording laying down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making beats like in my bed, because I still couldn't like move around like that. So like I still had physical therapists and occupational therapists
coming to the house, and like I don't know if it's TMI, but like I had to use like a catheter to piss. Like, I still didn't have control of my bladder, so like I had to like use a catheter and then like pour it in like a bottle, and then slowly get up and inch my way to the bathroom to pour it out, because I still didn't have full control of my bladder. So, like, yeah, catheters suck. Are you living with your parents at this time?
Nope, me and my roommate.
Okay.
Who took me in when I first moved back down here. I owe him so much. He's fucking incredible. Like, the motherfucker would bring me those fucking little lean cuisine microwavable dinners, because I couldn't.
What was this other one called? something dinner, something man. Hungry Man. You remember them shits? Yeah, that was back in the day.
I do. We got the damn. I had the damn Healthy Choice joints. Cause like they were like, gotta get. Cause obviously like my weight plays a factor in it. So they were like, we gotta get this weight off. And
were you
like,
always like a big dude like your whole life?
Yeah. But looking back on it, like definitely not as big as I was now. Like, I put a post up on IG maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago, like when Crescendo first got on the radio, and it was a video of me from high school, like a high school event.
You was wearing glasses?
Yeah, I was wearing glasses and like a little vest and shit.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, dancing to the Temptations.
So this like the biggest you ever been?
Yeah. Well, no, not the biggest I've ever been. The biggest I've ever been, I was wow, I never talked about this. I was yo, this is the exclusive that you get at Off World. You know what I'm saying? We talk about
first question we ask on Offer, how much you weigh?
How much you weigh? Nah,
asking all the girls, how old are you?
Right. No, the biggest that I was I think it was like 550.
Yeah.
It was like 550. And with this, after the surgery and like being on the planes and shit, I got down to like, I think I got down to like 425, something like that. And now I'm kind of like in between, I'd say like 475 and 480 or something like that, which I have to get it back down.
Do you have like a goal weight?
Honestly, if I can just get if I can get to like 350, cause I carry it well. Like anytime I tell somebody how much I weigh, they never think that. Unless you're...
He said, "Cause I carry it well." That's just funny to say about weight. Like,
yeah, well, because man,
I get it. Like,
I'm not naive to it. Like it's all in the lower body. I'm like when Squidward ate all the Krabby Patties.
I mean, it's not even about the look. It's about health, bro. It's about
1,000%. And that's the beautiful thing, bro. Is that like as far as like health and stuff, my heart is good, my cholesterol is good, blood pressure is a little elevated, but we have medication for that. But besides that, dude, I'm just fat. Like that's really like, and my doctors will be like, yo, like, be grateful because like I shouldn't be like diabetes runs in my family and all that stuff. Like I'm not having to worry about that yet. I'm sure it'll come up, but like it kind of just allows me to kind of try to get ahead of it. But yeah, no major health issues besides my back and stuff.
Yeah, I've been trying to kind of. I'm lazy as fuck when it comes to working out.
Me too.
Like I used to be like 30 pounds heavier. So I lost like 30 pounds. I was jogging for a little bit, but now I'm just like, really kind of fucks me up now because I'm sitting down all the time. Like my whole life is like on my laptop now. So
me too.
Just getting out of shape and then fucking my back up as well. Like just in this position. I think they actually call it tech neck. I just heard this recently. Like, you ever see those videos? It's like the chiropractors, like on YouTube and shit, just be popping people's neck.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like they have a name. It's called tech neck.
Tech neck. Okay.
And like that's it's like the soreness, whatever you get in your neck from sitting at a computer for so long.
I definitely have had that.
But yeah, I don't know.
For sure.
I'm trying to be healthy. You see, obviously, I smoke hella cigarettes. I do a lot of unhealthy stuff, so I try to do whatever healthy like when I can.
And I'm saying, like, I know for me my biggest thing is I eat like shit. Like I have bad eating habits. And recently I'm realizing that it's like from a psychological thing. 'Cause like, yeah, I was a big dude in high school, but like, again, not really that big. I was just tall and like, what they say, big boned. But I was big. I think I was maybe like,
I heard that was a myth. Like nobody's
no, yeah, that's not real. Yeah. But like, I was like, in high school, I was probably like between like 220, 230, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad. Like that's like a fucking high school football player and some shit, you know. But like, you know, getting picked on a lot, and that being like the target.
You were actually getting like bullied for that?
Yeah.
Not like by your friends in a joking way, but like
no, bro. Literally, high school orientation. This doesn't have anything to do with my weight, but high school orientation, we're all just like kind of sitting in this room. I think it was for like health class, this kid named Sean, I remember him like it was yesterday. His face looks like a thumb, but like but he like don't. And here's the thing. I don't know this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know this dude.
You said freshman orientation?
Yeah, freshman orientation. And dude, he like jumped from the desk behind me and like Shawn Michaels like elbow dropped me and then put me in a headlock. And then he started calling me Michelle. And I was just like, what? Like, that's not my name. I'm like, get off me. And like, I'm not a fighter because like I'm not a fighter, bro. Like, I'm not. But it's because I'm heavy-handed as shit. I catch you one time, you're on the ground, and I'm just not that person. Like, I am a kind-hearted like gentle giant for real. Like, that's always been me. So I was just trying to get him like, bro, just leave me alone. And then for like the next like 2 weeks, the nigga would just call me, hey, Michelle. I'm like, bitch, I don't know you. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, but yeah, I was always getting bullied. That's actually how I started rapping.
How so?
Middle school, gym class. We're in the locker room. So this is like 2004, 2005. So 8 Mile had been out. People would just like be freestyle battling in the thing. So you remember the scene where they were
at the lunch truck?
Yes.
He said, what he said? Something. What he say about his braids? What he say about his braids?
Like braids tied on too tight. But so in that scenario, I'm just minding my business and I just start getting clowned on. And
like in the battle?
Yeah. Like I'm just minding my business. I'm waiting for the bell to ring so I can go to chorus. I want to get to chorus. Like that was my shit. Like choir was my shit. So the choir room was my safe haven. That was where I got away from all the mean kids. And I just fucking love music. But yeah, man. Motherfuckers just started clowning me and shit.
Wait, was it a rap battle or was it?
Yeah.
So it was already going on and you were just there?
Yes, and I was just there.
Okay.
And like niggas started ragging on me. And it was just the typical shit. Like my weight, my lisp, like being in choir, wearing glasses. Like that was just stupid shit. And this continued for maybe like 2-3 weeks, something like that. And then I was just like, all right, I'm done. Like,
I gotta start rapping, bro. Fuck that.
So
like.
exactly. So that's exactly what happened. So fucking. But here's what's funny, is the very first time that I rapped in front of a bunch of people, I didn't rap my own shit.
You stole somebody's lyrics.
I sure did. I stole a goddamn Mike Shinoda verse from a Linkin Park song called High Voltage.
Who? You stole a Linkin Park
Sure
verse?
did.
What was the verse?
I've been digging in the crates ever since I was living in space, before the rat race, before monkeys had human traits. I mastered numerology and Big Bang theology, performed lobotomies with telekinetic psychology, invented the mic so I could start blessing it, chin-checking kids to make my point like an impressionist. Many men have tried to shake us, but I twist mic cords and double helixes and show them what I'm made of. I buckle knees like leg braces, cast a spin on instrumentalists with all them UMCs who hate us you can try on, leave you without a shoulder to cry on. From now to infinity, the icons be bygones. I fire bombs, ghostly don't taunt this. I tried threats, but moved on to a promise. I stomp shit with or without an accomplice and run the gauntlet with whoever that wants this. I rapped that verse and everyone looked at me like I was fucking crazy.
Bro in the back, like, that's Linkin Park. Nah, fuck that.
No, they ain't none of them niggas know that shit was Linkin Park, cuz. But it was crazy because like everyone just kind of looked and just like, what the? It was like the record stopped. The next day, motherfuckers like came up to me and just like started battling. And I was like,
you didn't have any other verses at this point.
No,
like,
so
fuck.
then I actually had to freestyle, and I chopped them niggas up.
Come on,
I chopped them up, and they just look like, oh, because like I am a big dude. I have like that, and you've seen me rap. Like I've always had like that.
No, your energy. You have like
I've always had
energy.
that. I've always had that, and I don't know where it came from because I didn't even listen to rap like that. Like. I was listening to fucking whatever was on the goddamn radio. But like, yeah, it started from there and then I was hooked. And then like, I think a week later, like I just started like finding instrumentals on the internet and just going crazy. First beat I think I rapped on was Dumb It Down by Lupe off of The Cool. I don't remember that verse. But, and I was hooked from there.
You ever seen Lupe Sway in the Morning Freestyle?
Oh my God, what?
When he was like going like real, when he was like being real soft spoken. I forgot what something. He was like breaking down the birds and the beat and shit. Like crazy shit.
Lupe's different, man.
He was the fucking.
He's an alien, bro.
What was he? The music director for the United States soccer team or some shit. Like that's different as shit. Like,
bro, he teaches hip hop at freaking Yale.
Saw that too.
And Harvard, one of them.
Yeah, I think it's Harvard.
One of them. And it's like
he kind of like this era is like KRS-One almost, like in a way.
Yeah. I would. I don't know if he would say that because
he obviously he won't say it. And I would say also his delivery it makes sense for this era more. It's more. I think people can grasp it easier than a KRS-One. I don't know how. I don't know if kids now are like can really get or like really like that type of stuff.
I think I mean definitely a generation thing, but I think
it's like every generation needs their own person.
Of course, but I think also with Lupe because Lupe's stuff. What's dope about KRS was he was informative, he was to the point, but he wasn't corny. At least to me. I know some people might say otherwise, but he was informative and he was to the point. He was giving you something. It was still like sonically pleasing. Like he was still rapping, you know what I mean? But he was like giving you game at the same time. I think why I agree with the Lupe parallel is because Lupe does the exact same thing. It just is way more complex for this generation because we take in so much more information. Like, if we were like in the 80s and 90s hearing KRS, like we would it lines up. Like now, like we have the internet, so Lupe can make these fucking random ass references that no one's ever heard of, and then all you got to do is do a quick Google search. And I mean, even now with like fucking Rap Genius and shit, you know what I mean? Like it just allows you to. It opens up the complexities. So I never looked at it that way, but now that I'm like seeing it in my head, like, yeah, that's actually a really good parallel, at least to me. That's a really good parallel. Were you listening to KRS-One? Because I really actually never got into his music like that, but like I love his like interviews and his like speeches and I knew the major ones. I knew like The Bridge Is Over, and I knew his legacy. It's the same thing with like all of like your Rock Hymns and your like EPMDs and your Slick Ricks and all those guys. I have done my research on them. I can't say I go back and listen to their music all the time because it's just not for me. Like it didn't resonate with me. I'll go back and listen to Tribe. I'll go back and listen to Souls of Mischief. I'll go and listen to Far Side. That was my bag. So that Black Sheep, De La Soul. So like that golden era of like early 90s hip hop. But even then, like you look at like I didn't get into Hove. I didn't get into Jay until like maybe like Blueprint. And then even then, like I still was like, all right, cool. Like this is dope. But like I couldn't say that I was like a huge Jay-Z fan until like Blueprint, Black Album era. And then I really went back and listened to like Reasonable Doubt and those things. And I was just like, oh, this dude's crazy. And that's another beautiful thing about the internet is like we can go back, like, bro, De La Soul's catalog just got on streaming services. So now there's a whole new generation of people who never have heard De La Soul before that, you know, who love, like, we have like this subgenre of like jazz rap, whether it's like Asaba or Mick Jenkins or whoever the fuck, right? Like now there's like there's more reference points than just Tribe Called Quest. And I love Tribe. But it's always good to have, like, loving Michael Jackson wouldn't have been as epic if there wasn't a Prince or a Madonna or a not Bon Jovi. Who am I talking about? George Michael. Like there has to be those options. If it was just one person, like even now, like the big three, Cole, Kendrick, Drake, right? All of them have their own lane. But imagine if it was just one. Like
the other two didn't exist.
Like the other two didn't pop or whatever the fuck. It wouldn't be the same. I don't think it would be the same. I think
who would the other two be? Let's say it was no Cole or Cole or Kendrick. Is Drake up there? Who's the other two then?
I'm putting Tyler the Creator, personally. his growth and his discography, and the fact that he produced all of his shit, like, that is incredible. And because he was like anti-blog era, because the blogs just didn't fuck with him, but like he still found a way to create probably a more loyal fan base.
You saying the blogs didn't fuck with Tyler, the creator? Really?
Absolutely not. At least not the
covering
main
him.
ones.
Really? Because I feel like the first time I seen Tyler Creator was probably on MTV, the Cockroach video, but I think it was on TV.
Yeah, no, Yonkers.
So
well,
like,
Yonkers, but Yonkers.
Are you saying before that? Then?
I'm talking before that. I'm talking like,
yeah.
the Bastard album, where he literally, the intro to the Bastard album is him saying, "Fuck Two Dope Boys, fuck Not Right, and fuck any other blog that doesn't want to take a chance on a kid." That's literally the intro of the Bastard album, and they were like, "Okay," and they just didn't. They wouldn't cover his shit. They wouldn't cover any of OF shit, no matter what the fuck they were doing. So that's what I think helped OF so much, because
it felt like just anti.
It was so anti, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was like no one had, at least in our generation, like, we hadn't seen anything like that on that level. So then for him to get the VMAs and now like have Grammys and just seeing like what the OF tree has done. You know what I'm saying? Like, Earl's in his own lane. Frank is, people look at Frank like he's fucking Jesus.
Bro, I forget that Frank Ocean is he still in that?
I mean, it's
pretty much right.
It's over, but like Frank is like, he was like the big homie. He was like the big brother, because like he was already kind of in the industry, like was like writing for people and whatever the fuck else. Like, so
that's I still listen to Blonde all the time.
I still listen to
Straight
Nostalgia
through.
Ultra, bro. Like that Frank, man.
Blonde is literally in my top 5 albums of all time.
I'm not mad at it.
But you talking about reintroducing songs to new generations too. Like, it's cool. I see what people like somebody newer artists will sample it, or like they'll put in I forgot what movie they put it in, but the song was like, I Got 5 on it.
Yeah.
Remember they put it, I think it was in a Jordan
Peele movie.
And like it went
I think
up
it was
after
Us.
that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool too.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, man. It's like I understand why everyone's mad with this like current wave that we're in, where everyone's just kind of just sampling a song, putting like some basic ass drums on it and just making a new song. But that's kind of what they did in the 90s. Like, that's kind of what they did. But I understand the frustration of it, because when it was in the 90s and like people were sampling like the Isley Brothers and just looping the Isley Brothers, or Sting, or whoever the fuck, or just like old soul records, it was out of necessity. Now hip hop's at a place where you don't like, do we really need to sample? No slight to Tyga, but like, do we really need to sample Ice Ice Baby right now? Like,
I don't think so.
like, do we need that?
No.
Like,
You might have to give him a little slight for that. Like, why?
It's
I really used to fuck with Tyga too.
Me too.
I really don't like his newer music, but coming up,
like a motherfucker. That was
yeah, it was a point where Tyga was going crazy.
That shit was hard. And Diamond Life, that shit was hard too. But to go back, because we went on a huge tangent. But so I would put Tyler in there as the other part of the big three, and I would put Wale.
Really?
Because I think out of the majority of like the heavy hitters of the blog era, and like that's like Wiz, Currency, Crit,
Mac Miller.
Mac fucking Miller. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm putting Mac. Yeah, I'm putting Mac over Wale. Yeah, cause yeah. That's
I'm really surprised you said Wale, honestly. Like,
well, I'm from the Northern Virginia DMV area, so like I got to experience what that really felt like, and it was really like a rare thing, and like the DMV hasn't really had that since, as far as like someone who made it to that mainstream level that the area overall championed. Like, obviously there were people that didn't fuck with him, but like
I would say Masego. He got to that level.
1,000%. But I think it wasn't and this is just my opinion. I don't know if the 7-5 really championed him like that. As much, or maybe as much as they should. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter because like he even said it. He said it in a recent interview. Like he once like shit popped off on SoundCloud and like he could see like, oh, people from London are fucking with my shit. People from Switzerland, people from Japan. And I'm not saying this directly like he's saying fuck Virginia, but he's like, why am I worried about just what Virginia thinks? You know what I mean? Like we've had some people pop from here, bro, whether like Virginia supported them or not. And I don't know. It's a two-edged thing with that Virginia supporting artist thing because like I just saw my dog Matt Mason, who's like one of the biggest acts in alternative music right now, and he just did the Norva and it was packed. So I don't know. Sounds like Virginia supporting. Just make good fucking music.
Who would you say is the last person we had pop?
Like really pop? I'd say Matt. Because like I mean Matt's doing fucking Bonnaroo and shit. Like
I gotta get hip. I'm not
like
he's
he's got platinum shit. He just on the fucking Lana Del Rey. Like he's out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say because it was like it went from Drum popped with Cha Cha, and then like that, and then Broccoli and that, and he had his thing, and then Sego popped, and then Matt popped. I would say those are the last like three like real big ones.
Who's bro? It's a dude right now that's Young Chris. That's
what
I'm
I'm
thinking
Chris.
Of. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Young Chris. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of people that are like bubbling. I bring him up in every damn interview. He gonna get tired of me. But like, I really think Doms is on like that.
Al Doms?
Yeah.
I think he's actually dropping a song at midnight tonight.
He is. Yeah. And I think he's on that. I don't know, just something. I just feel it. Like I just feel like whatever this next.
His shit different.
He's different, and he like. That's where it goes back to like, home like championing them. I can talk. I promise. I think he's gonna be the next one, and it's exciting to see. Because I love that energy. Like, I love the energy of a record pop. Like, bro, Cha Cha was, like, popping in, like, Norfolk, like, 6 months before it dropped. Because, like, Gabe and them were just going around and just playing it at every show, like, whether it was at work release or whatever the fuck. Like, they were just playing that shit. So I heard about the song before it ever even came out, but I never, like, actually heard it. And it was, like, that energy felt good to me. It was just like, oh, like there is something here. You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously there are other people as well, of course, like Crazy, you know what I'm saying? But that's just not my preference as far as music. I fuck with Crazy, but like that's just not what I listen to.
See, he was saying he was like that our area is not really set up for trap artists to like really make it. He said it's more like hipster vibes. He's like everybody we've kind of had pop in recent years has all been like friendly music, like hipster almost type music, good vibes.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. And coming from his perspective, makes perfect sense. I think and you know it's interesting because it's like I don't want to say the opposite, but it's almost the opposite in DC. Because DC is usually like really, really more trap heavy, whether it's like the Trails, Glizzies, like whatever. So then like when someone like Gold Link pops, you know what I mean? Or someone like Logic pops, or someone like...
Is he from DC?
He's from PG County, from Maryland. Or Montgomery County, I'm sorry. Please don't shoot me. He's from Montgomery County.
I think he just sold his catalog. A few people just sold their catalog. As far as
what do you think about that? What do you think about people selling their catalog?
I do it. if you can get like 100 million or like a lot of money, why not? It's not like you can't make more songs.
I feel like
you can make more stuff. You can use that money to do other things, make more money. Like,
and they know how.
Why not?
And I think they know, especially like being in the industry, they know how devalued music is now. Like, bro, you paid $10.
Well, I think it's gonna change again because I think right now we're in this intermediate stage with streaming services where they're not really telling people how much a stream is worth. We don't know that yet. Everybody's paying different amounts out. Everybody's doing this, whatever, paying different. Like, the money's different everywhere. So basically, I think we're just figuring it out. I think we're about to. I don't know how, but I think we're gonna slow.
Do you think there'll be like a centralized rate between all of the
per stream?
Yeah,
per view. Yeah, I think it would probably be that across platforms, and the business guys are gonna figure it out. Tell how to, because like they're losing money. Like I think people used to make, like, labels used to make way more money. I would assume, like,
yeah, that's why, like, now you don't need a label.
Yeah, so they're gonna figure it out, but
they're gonna have to. Like, you hit the nail on the head. Like, but at the same time, like, and that's the crazy thing about like these superstars is that, like, you look at someone like a Drake or a Taylor Swift or like those type of people, they're the ones keeping the lights on.
For like labels and
shit? Like Drake keeps Universal's lights on.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Taylor Swift keeps her label's light on. If Drake had finished his Cash Money deal and just went strictly independent and just went straight like through OVO, that would have fucked the industry up, like, even more than it already did. Like, if
he said, walk up in the label, like, where did the check go?
Yeah, but like him signing, I think it was like a $500 million deal with Universal or some shit. Like, but if he would have went solo, or if he would have went independent and just went through OVO primarily, oh my God, Universal would be scrambling. They would be fucking scrambling.
And then, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's why they gave him that $500 million. That was on like some LeBron shit. Like, they're just. Like,
I see he's been getting a lot of money from that stake shit, the gambling thing.
Because he's
where
smart,
it's like somehow every time he gambles, he wins.
He's smart.
And it's like, I don't know how, but I ain't about to get on that. That's all you talking about. Also, the support in the city for artists.
Yeah.
I think, bro. No, I haven't seen any artist really out here that's coming up figure out a way to reach the masses out here. Because there's a lot of people out here that would listen to your music that just simply don't know about you. Mm-hmm. So we haven't really figured out how to market to those people yet. I feel like I've been kind of getting redundant saying this, but like even with the show, we're trying to figure out how to reach regular people out here that have no clue about anything about a creative scene.
Yeah. We
know who the people are that are already tapped into the scene. We see them at these events. We go out. We all see each other at different. We see it's the same people. It's probably like 200-300 people. Mm-hmm. Maybe let's say to really put easy with it, 500.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 500 people in the whole 757 that really participate in the creative scene. That's like the ones that are making the stuff, whatever.
Coming to the
events, this, that. It's 500. That's 500 people. Even if it's 1,000.
Yeah.
How many people live in 757? I would say so, probably 1 million at least.
Yeah.
Right. There's 1 million people out here, bro.
Yeah.
So we're really not doing enough.
No.
Like, we're like, this is great because we need to be at this step because we're all getting better at our crafts and this is the way to do it. Mm-hmm. Is like we're practicing amongst each other. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now we got to, that's the next step. We have to figure out how to market to the everyday person that lives out here.
But that's why people, and again, I don't know. This is my observation. I don't know. But that's why I can understand why people move from here to a New York or to an Atlanta or to an LA or to a Nashville, because they have the tools and the resources and the connections to show, hey, this is how you market, reach whoever you can reach, and the people within Virginia will catch on. I don't completely agree with the Virginia doesn't support artists thing. I understand where it comes from, but I don't 100% agree with it. And everybody's path and everybody's journey is different. For me personally, and it's crazy because like we talk about like let's just say that 500 of creative scene, right? In most cases, if you're an artist, I'm not saying that the scene is cliquey, but there's circles, right? And so you really maybe only tapped in for real to like 75, 100 of them, right?
Yeah.
What I kind of realize that I'm in a unique situation because I have a lot of crossover. And whether it's the story, like the underdog story, like coming back from the surgery or whatever, if it's the music, if it's the performances, if it's how I do socials,
You're a good guy.
if that's depending on who you talk to, like, so I'm in a cool space where like I kind of who said it? I think it was Intellect who said it. He was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was just like, as far as like events go, like I'm never invited, but I'm always welcome. So I can go to anything that's going on, and I'm not saying like I'm recognized, oh my God, Tyler Donovan, but it's like, but there's a level of respect there. You know what I mean?
That's actually funny you say that, because that literally just happened the other night when we seen it. Remember, we were sitting by the fence. Dude was walking by. He said, "Oh my God!" He literally said, "Oh my God, that's Tyler Donovan." He was trying to act like somebody literally said that like 2 nights ago.
So no, you're right, but yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I'm not naive to it. Like it's a weird space to be in.
I was like that too, bro. I feel like I'm like that. I was always like that, even in like high school.
Yeah,
like I was the one that was going. I knew I was cool with everybody.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good skill to have. Not even a skill, it's just a good trait to have.
It takes
right?
and just creatively, it takes the pressure off. It can either take the pressure off or it can put pressure on. For me, I'm learning that it takes the pressure off because I can just make whatever the fuck I want to make. And like people will rock with it. Like from like people that listen to like only like trap shit to like people that go to my church and like only listen to like Christian music. But like they rock with me because like they just know me and they see me like serve at church or whatever. But like it's cool, man. I haven't fully embraced it yet, and I know that I need to. And I think this project is only going to amplify that. But it's really cool to kind of I can be me wherever I go. You know what I mean? Like I could go to a Traptastic event and like where I was like, "Yo, what up?" Da, da, da. You know what I mean? Like, or I could go to like a Utopia Fenny like First Friday. You know what I'm saying? Where sure there may be some crossover there, but those are definitely two different audiences, and the love is the same. And I'm still like accepting that. I'm still embracing that because like I haven't always been like the biggest fan of myself. So like when like people always like getting recognized or like people coming up and like. I don't want to say talk in my ear because that makes it sound dismissive, but like just going on and really like giving me my flowers, like I cringe at that because I'm like, like not because I don't appreciate it. I do appreciate it. They're seeing something that I don't. And I'm in the process now where like I'm shedding that skin where it's like, because like I'm coming out of like this 6-7 year hole that I kind of dug myself into. So like that's happening in real time, like while this music shit is really like starting to take off. Like, bro, like if you would have told me 3 months ago a song that I've had for almost 2 years that I wasn't going to put out due out of insecurity would be played on 2 stations in Norfolk, Richmond, and North Carolina at the same time.
Saw that crescendo.
Yeah.
So I was on 103 Jams. I was actually tuning into the app to try to catch it.
My dog.
I didn't catch it though. But I heard they were playing like other local music. I heard a Cartel song up there, and I think that was the only one I knew.
Like
I missed it though.
103 Jams, Hot 91, and then in Richmond, my dog Black Lick. I don't remember the station off the top of my head.
I think there was also a write up on RVA Mag, right?
RVA Mag, yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. As someone who used to like read blogs all the time, and I've always been infatuated with Richmond. I love it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was supposed to go to VCU. I don't know. I've always been in love with that city.
Yeah.
And the scene, like the scene there, and like just the rappers there, have always just been really cool and really embracing to me. And like legends, like motherfuckers that got like murals, like
Yeah, we were just out there recently.
Yeah,
like who?
Michael Millions, fucking, he's like a big homie to me. Nicholas F, who is one of my favorite rappers.
I'm trying to tap in with him right now,
bro. He's apparently he got some shit coming that I'm like super excited about. Like he's one like my stage presence and like how I perform. I learned so much from Nick, and it only amplified when I had to start sitting down for shows. Cause like Nick, he can be super energetic and go crazy, but like you're gonna get these bars and you're going to hear everything that he says while he's like going crazy. That's why he can do like fucking. The cool thing about Richmond is like they'll sometimes do like shows where it's like half rappers, half like hardcore like punk bands and shit. And the energy in there is just so fucking tight. Like oh my God, it's so ill. And one of the coolest moments ever, I was performing at a Champion Brewing Company or brewery or whatever the fuck it was called for our RVA Rap Elite event. And Nick showed up. And I had like my little setup or whatever with my computer.
Nick F?
Bro.
Come on.
But here's the thing. We knew of each other already. Like that's the thing. Like I've been performing in Richmond since like 2011, 2012, like doing like, they used to have this thing called Epic Fest, which was like a week-long thing where it was just like a gang of independent artists would come. And like I met Obliv like really early, who's like the super legendary producer, kind of like what people think they're saying when they say lo-fi, but it's really just like some boom bap, like in like the spirit of like Dilla type shit. Like if you look like an artist like Knowledge or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I met Bliv in like 2011, 2012. And like we don't talk all the time, but there's just always that, it's just that level of respect. And he is like highly garnered, or like even like there's a band called Butcher Brown from out of Richmond. It's like a really dope like jazz hip hop band, and like their frontman and their keys player DJ Harrison and Tennis Shoe, like we're really cool. Like Tennis Shoe plays trumpet, and he just laid down a trumpet line for me for a song that I'm working on. And it's just cool. Like there's just always been like that level of respect in Richmond that I greatly like. I just appreciate it. Like I love Richmond so much. So for the RVA Mag thing, it was really cool to see that, because I've been posted on there before, but it was a long time ago.
Is that a real magazine or is it just online?
I believe at one point it was a real magazine.
Not real.
Yeah, like
physical.
It was print.
Yeah.
Like it's been around since like 04, 05 or whatever. If I remember right, like they're the ones that kind of like pushed for like the official branding of Richmond as RVA. Like they had some sort of part in it, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, like growing up and like once I really got into rap and like I was really like trying to like do my research and see, okay, who's popping out here? Like who's like who are some people I need to know, who like who's doing shit. RVA Mag was a big resource for me. And so it was like equivalent of like, you know, a rapper wanting to be on like The Source or like Rolling Stone or Double XL or some shit like that. So like, and like I said, I've been on there a couple of times before, but not in a long time. Like it may be like 10 years I hadn't been posted on there. And anytime I drop something, I sent it. You know what I mean? But it was cool that they posted Crescendo. So shout out to RVA Mag. Thank you, Bones. I appreciate it, man. That was really cool. Like that, like 20-year-old me. I called my best friend like once I saw the post, and I was like, "Bro, check this shit out." And then I sent it to him. He was like, "What?" Because he knew like I used to never shut up about like Richmond and RV Mag and all that shit. So
yeah, we do. We tapped in with a few artists right there. We just did a skit with Harsh World. You know Harsh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
what?
So we fuck with him. We're about to have Yonder on. I don't know if you know who Yonder is.
I've heard the name.
He's on some like kind of like rock, punk, hip hop type vibes. Like,
Gotcha.
Like they do like mosh pits on. They get crazy at the show. It kind of reminded me of him when you were talking about the genre earlier.
Word. Are you hip to Smith?
I don't think so.
Were you at the show they did at Elevation? Who was it? I think it was like Colt. I think Colt and Maddie, they did like a show at
Elevation,
where Tia was there. Tia
I was there.
So there was a group there called Kids at Play.
I know them.
Yeah,
I think I've seen them at Utopia too. I've seen them at a couple spots.
No, I think they did something in Virginia Beach. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, because I saw them somewhere else before the Elevation show.
So Smith is a part of Kids at Play. He's also on the remix of Assembly. We met in like 2018.
How do you spell his name?
SMYTH.
Okay, is he the one with long hair?
Yes.
Was he like, I think like the lead?
He's like one of the front
vocalists.
He's like one of the front ones. It's him. The three are him, Quincy X, or I think he just goes by Quincy now, and Marquise.
Yeah, I think I followed him after that because they went crazy. I think I've seen them perform twice. And,
they're incredible, dude.
Yeah, they go crazy.
They're incredible. So it's like, for those who don't know, they're like, it's a group of 11 creatives, whether it's musicians, producers.
Damn, it's 11 of them.
Graphic designers, video editors, but they do everything in house, and the quality of their shit is so ill. Like Smith he put out an album last month called Paperface that I think you'd actually really fuck with. It's really like experimental, but it's hard. And then he just put out a video called Kill You in the USA. That was like really dope. But like everything that you'll see of them is done in-house. And it was really cool because like they're really just like a gang of friends that are just doing some dope shit. And it's like it took off. Like they've gotten viral. Like they have like a legit fan base. Like they've had like label meetings and shit. Like I wouldn't be surprised in the next like 6 months like they have a deal and like they're like really out of here. But
it's funny too seeing artists that you like, that you know are gonna be like, you know that you're early on them, and that they have like a brighter future. Like I feel that way about this dude Rahul right now. I've kind of been shouting him out a lot. I feel like you like his music, so you check him out.
Okay.
How
you spell it?
It's I'll show you, but it's Rahul. I don't even know where he's from. He's like an Indian artist. I think he's Indian. I keep saying that. I still haven't looked that up either. But like he has like long hair or whatever. But yeah, like you can see it in people sometimes.
Yeah,
I felt that way about DaBaby when I see him kind of before he blew up all the way.
That was me with Kendrick.
Yeah,
because I heard like the freestyle he did over Monster.
I was kind of late on Kendrick. I think the first time I heard Kendrick was when he did a tape where he remixed all Lil Wayne beats, I think.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm talking about?
What was the name of that tape? That was early.
He had I forgot all the songs, but one of them was for sure. One of them was the best rapper under 25. That was one of them up there for sure.
That was.
He's on the best rapper under 25, 24, some shit like He went up on that. I think that was the first time I heard Kendrick for real.
You were early.
Is that early? I figured I was late.
You were earlier than me. I got put on around Overly Dedicated because my boy. No, actually, I take it back. It was Section 80, and then I went back because I was hanging with Era Hardaway.
Yeah. He's been up here.
So I've known Era for over a decade.
He's doing a rap battle shit now,
bro, and I love it.
I like it. No, whoever's they're doing it like they're doing it. It's like well done.
Yeah, no,
like the setup of it. I like it. It doesn't look like janky or like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, if I remember, is that Southpaw? I know he just did a Southpaw battle. I think it is. Then that's based out of Richmond too. And actually, that's, if I remember right, that's my dog Radio B, who he also does RVA Rap Elite.
He's the one that's producing
the
rap battles.
He like puts it. He like hosts everything. It's his brainchild. Like Radio is one of those dudes. He just, if he has an idea, he's gonna see it through, and it's gonna fucking work. Yeah. like he's built like a whole platform through RVA Rap Elite where it like they have like fucking brackets and like 5-on-5 cypher battle, and it's like a whole thing, and it's super dope. And like cats from down here will go up there. Like Will Young has gone up there a lot. Intellect has gone up there. Basic, like, but you have to rap Like it can't be on like some no cute shit. Like you gotta
No cute shit.
Nah, for real. Like you gotta rap. And like I've done a couple of those and like I knew what time it was. And it's a different energy. You know what I mean? It's a different like I've tried to like figure out like songwriting and like cause I want to go into that bag more and like I want to focus on like bodies of work. Not saying that you can't do that with like just rapping, but it's like I sang first. So like that plays a factor into my shit. But like, bro, when I just want to rap, like when I just want to like it's like when I do the quick gasps, it's like that energy where like I just, all right, fuck the singing shit. I just want to rap.
What's your favorite rapper? I think to me, mine it might have to be Reed Dollaz versus Trigger.
Ooh.
You remember that?
Ooh, golly.
He said, what he said? He said, "Oh, you play the family, man? I'll spray out the family van." He said, something like,
yeah.
No, that whole shit was crazy. Like,
I think,
they tried to bring it back to like Cassidy and all them after the recent battle he did with I think Hitman Holla. He was about to start it. Like I don't know what happened to it. Like Cassidy he had brought all the battle rappers together. Like they had meetings at his crib at this big table. Like they were talking about setting up a new league. But I don't know what happened to it though.
Yeah, I appreciate battle rap. I haven't kept up with it as much as I would have liked to. But I did just revisit Tay-Rock and Daylight. And
I haven't seen that one.
It was like during the pandemic time where it was like Smack, they had like that deal with Caffeine where they were like streaming shit.
Yeah.
Daylight's third verse, he went fucking nuclear. And then it's a cop out, but like Lux versus Calico. Like where the nigga came out in the suit and you gonna get this work and like that because it was a performance. Like I'm a fan of a performance, and battle rap is so I have to like indulge in it in like sections. Like I have a homie I go to church with, and if you looked at him, you would never think that he fucking watches battle rap and shit, but he'll come up to me, "Yo, did you watch?" And I'm like, "Nah, I haven't watched it yet." And then I watch it, and I'm like, "Yo, like it's a different energy." And I know like there's a part of me that like wanted to step into that, and like because like
You wanted to be a battle rapper?
Yeah, but I'm too nice.
Yeah, I'm about to say like Tyler, fuck around, kill you on stage. I'm so sorry, bro. I didn't mean.
No, seriously, no, for real. And my thing is that in order to tap into that, like, that's a different thing, and it's like, it's there.
I think so has a lot more potential. I don't think battle rap is as big as it could be.
No, it's just getting started.
You know what I mean?
Hip hop in general is just getting started, bro. Like you got to remember, like rap is only 50 years old. You know what I mean?
And also, is it just me or does hip hop evolve more than other genres?
Absolutely.
As far as the subject matter, because hip hop, I feel like is real like as close to as you can get to like a what's the word, like a train just a train of thought. It's as close as you can get to like real thoughts, and then people's thoughts evolve over time.
Exactly.
So it's not just like a song. Right? It's like people's thoughts.
It's a time capsule.
Right? It's that's what it's evolving. Also the sound. I'm talking about just like how people are thinking, what they're saying. Yeah. In other genres like a country song, or maybe I'm just not hip to it. Right. But I feel like the songs don't evolve much as far as like.
That's why hip hop is the most. That's why the culture of it took over everything. That's why like you have like the country artists starting to do country songs over trap hi-hats and trap drums and 808s and stuff. You know what I mean? That's why like the pop music that you hear now is basically just hip-hop production. Like, bro, like the minute I heard friggin' Ariana Grande on like some trap drums, I was like, okay, like we know.
Now when Molly was twerking on stage,
when Bieber thought he was light skinned for a little bit, like it was a whole.
Then you saying Bieber's not light skinned?
No. And I love the Journals album. I wish I feel his pain because like he said like countless times like, yo, this is really the music that I want to make. I really want to make like more like R&B centric. One of his biggest influences is freaking Craig David. Usher found him. Like, let that little Canadian motherfucker sing his damn R&B songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even like his fan base, like obviously like they'll go wherever he goes. But like, bro, I think during the pandemic, like he did a concert of him performing Journals from start to finish, and it like broke the internet. Cause like that album was just really fucking good. I'm not about to sit up here and talk about Bieber, but it was just like
do a whole other episode just on
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Talk.
But it's like hip hop really is. It really is like
to me, hip hop's like journalism.
Yeah,
hip hop is literally like I actually said that in the song before. I literally said hip hop is like independent journalism at its finest.
Bro, that's how it started. KRS used to say that shit all the time. Like hip hop was intelligent movement. So like you were gonna dance and we were gonna party and we were gonna have fun, but you were gonna learn some shit too. And even now,
which now like, that part's missing now, kind of.
No, it's not missing.
Because even like I'm about to cut you off. Like even for us coming up listening to music, we weren't thinking deep about this shit. Like we were listening to like fun music and shit. Personally, like high school, middle school. Like I didn't really get hip to like whatever, all like the conscious music and being self-aware and all this to like after I graduated, I would say.
And see,
like,
I was the opposite. Like I was listening to like Lupe and early Kanye and fucking like Mos Def and Talib Kweli, and that was just what resonated with me because it reminded me of the soul music that my parents listened to. You know what I mean? So like it was, and that's why like when I went back and did my research, like yeah, I could have went back and been like Biggie, Pac, Wu-Tang, da 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 da. And of course, I understand their importance and their legacy. Do I go back and play their stuff a lot? No, because it just didn't resonate with me. Like Tribe resonated with me.
That's another thing I was thinking about too. Like, you know how people always say that the music you listen to in high school like kind of just has a different place for you. It hits different, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think as we get older, I'm 27 now. I've been thinking, will I have another moment? Are you capable of really having that life-changing experience with music and art as you get older? Or is that something that's only happens when you're like younger?
I think
you know what I mean?
I can only speak for me, but I have those moments all the time. But I'm also open to it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like when I was in high school, because like I graduated high school in 2009, so that was like right before like Drake popped and right before Cole popped and like I'm fresh out of high school when those dudes are just starting to take off. But I remember where I was when I heard Drake rap over that Kanye beat for the first time, to Say What's Real joint. Like I can't
remember, but I bet he was reading off his phone, wasn't he?
Probably. Yeah. Like I was like I remember where I was when I heard that for the first time. I remember where I was when I heard Kendrick for the first time. Like I said, I was in the car. Like there's a band I discovered recently called King's Kaleidoscope. That's they're faith Christian centered, but they make really, 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 really dope stuff. And that I just found them out maybe like 2-3 years ago, and like I'm like a super fan to the point that like me and their drummer, like because he's a super ill producer, and like me and him are tight, and like we're working on stuff, and like I've had conversations like with the front man, because like once I find an artist that I like, I'm hooked. Like there's a band called Crumb that's like on some like indie like psychedelic type shit.
They just drop snippets.
Yeah, hilarious.
You get it?
Hilarious. But I saw them at Toast in Norfolk in like 20. It had to have been before the surgery. It was definitely before the surgery, so it had to have been like 2017. And I saw them at Toast for like $5. And like now they're like torn everywhere, this, that, and the third. Like they're huge. I love stuff like that. I love being able, not gatekeeping, because I'll put you on to whatever. Like if you like this, then here, you'll love this. Like, but yeah, I have those moments all the time. I still have those moments. Like I just found this. I just found this group a month ago off Instagram called Speaker's Corner Quartet. They're based out of London. They have a song called Sampha, or they have a song with Sampha called Can We Do This? That's so vibey. It feels like Don't Touch My Hair by Solange, which also features Sampha. But like it's just a good vibe. And that was just a month ago. And like I played that song every day. Like there's a Kenny Mason song with Project Pat that I play every day called Stack It Up. That shit is hard. That Krusty Crew anthem, SpongeBob shit, I'm playing that shit every day. That shit.
Oh,
is
that one with the
hard.
animation dude.
Brand new bag for Pearl, but I didn't pay for it.
Bro, even when I was no. Even Even on SpongeBob, even when I was a kid, bro, I really loved that fucking song when he came up in the stadium.
Bro,
that low-key changed my life. I was like, hold up.
Bro, I had a Video Now player.
So hold up, wait. I gotta catch this episode again. Like,
you remember the Video Now player?
Who?
The Video Now player was like a little mini DVD player. I had that shit, and I had that episode, and I used to play that episode all the time.
Like, the winner takes all.
It's a thrill of one more kill. The last one to fall.
Come on.
They went crazy. What? Patrick on the drums?
That, and also another song from like a show or movie that like is actually fire that I listen to outside of that is Scotty Doesn't Know from Euro Trip.
Oh God,
bro, that was Matt Damon in that shit. Did you ever notice? Did you realize that after like later on?
Yes.
That I didn't get that till like 10 years later. I was like, bro, that was Matt. Matt was fucking Scotty girl.
Don't tell Scotty. Scotty does. Wow.
This is not where I park my car.
Middle school.
But I feel okay. So like we're kind of jumping all over the place. Okay, so you got a surgery. You start making music 2 weeks later in bed.
Yeah.
When did the process for, I guess, when did you know you were making Gasping for Air? That's the new album on the way.
Yes.
And also I've noticed I don't think you have any projects out. It's just singles, right?
Yeah. I put a project out in 2016 called Nimbus.
Did you take it down?
Yeah.
So you one of those guys.
I am. I'm one of those.
Because I wanted to go back and see your old stuff to see. I like seeing people's journey. Like I like to see. That's why that's why we leave all our old shit up.
Yeah.
And you go back and see episode 1, how terrible it is, how we're figuring it out. Like I don't know. Like maybe not everybody.
No, I've contemplated putting it back up. There are some joints on there. Like
So you were on the cloud stuff even back then.
Yeah. But we put out Nimbus in 2016. Who was on there? Sunny Moonshine was on there.
Come on.
Fake Azumi made a couple beats. Actually, Masego played sax on one of the songs, which was really cool. Not a lot of people know that, but I took it down just because it wasn't. I just knew I could do better, and but I do agree with the journey thing, and that's what's so interesting about Gasping for Air. Spoiler alert, if you follow my music from like 2018 to now, you've heard a majority of this album already. I put out the Breathe EP in 2019. Then I put out the Inhale EP in 2020. 2 songs from the Breathe EP we had to redo because of sample clearance. Inhale and Exhale, so those will be on the album. And then Assembly, Options, and Take the Lead will be on the album. And then we have 5 more songs. So that's the whole album. So in a way, like I did kind of do that where it was like the journey thing. I just like fully finished ideas. And those songs up to that point were basically demos. And I wanted it to be a full body of work. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I was like hella hard on myself. And so like, oh, this has to be like, I don't know why I kept saying this, but like when I was in like the depth of working on Gasping for Air, I was like, oh, this needs to be my acid rap, and I'm gonna fucking blah, 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 whatever, and this is gonna be the project that gets me out of here, and and if it does that, fire. But like, that's not my intention anymore. Like, I don't care. I just want to put it out and tell the story. But yeah, I started working on Gasping for Air probably in like 2017. So like not too long after I moved down here, I was house sitting for my boy Cam Murdoch, and I made a song called Intervention. That sounds completely different than what's gonna be on the album, but like the verse is the same, the hooks are the same. That's the thing. All the lyrics are the same. It was just the production. I just wanted the production to be fuller and more of what I was hearing in my head.
And you produced the whole project as well?
I produced. There's 10 songs on the album. I produced or co-produced on all of them, but I was the primary producer on 9 of them. And then there's one song called Far Side that's produced by L Darkins, who I found. It's Bryson shit. I see him nodding his head in the in my peripheral. But I found him on Instagram. He's from Russia, I think.
Why you nodding your head, bro?
Because it's a good song.
Okay.
It's a really good song.
I thought he's like, why'd you work with him? Like,
and no, he likes that song because it's like,
bro, we beef with the Russians right now, bro. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You getting beats from the Russians, Tyler, bro?
Look, this was before.
Nah, we fuck with him.
This was before everything happened.
What if that literally dropped and like stopped World War III? It's like, wait.
You're welcome,
bro. And we're good.
We're good. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pardon, free all my niggas. I want free rent forever. No, fuck that. Buy me a house, nigga. Like, no, yeah, no. Far Side is cool because it's like, it's me kind of writing out, my frustrations with how the relationship ended, but it was from the perspective of, oh, maybe I can still fix this. But how it feels and how the production feels, it's like you're dragging this on, dude. Like you're dragging this on way too long, which is a common theme throughout the album. Overall, the album is about self-sabotage and it's about being in your own way. The title came from, I've been on this breathing kick since like 2018, 2019 because of my physical therapist. But what people may not know is when I was going by Righteous, my initial debut album name was going to be My Righteous Path. And this was a reference to an NERD lyric on a song they have called Fly or Die. The full lyric is, gasping for air makes the righteous path harder to choose. So when I changed my name and I kind of was going through everything that the album kind of documents, the title just kind of came back to my head. And when I finished Intervention, I was like, I just needed a folder. I just needed a name for the folder that I was going to put album sessions in. And so I just put Gasping for Air. And I didn't think about it. And then like 2 months later, I listened to that NERD song, Fly or Die, and I hear the lyric. And I'm like, oh, this is full circle like crazy. And then the surgery stuff happened. So I had that title before the surgery happened. Then all that happened. My physical therapist reminds me over and over again, hey, if you have breath in your lungs, it's not by coincidence or happenstance. Then I remember that my pastor said that all the time in his sermons. And it was just like, oh, okay, this isn't just a coincidence. This isn't from me. Me putting this album out it's bigger than me. And I don't say that from like a pretentious standpoint. It's just like, it's a burden. I've tried to do other projects before this. Like I've wanted to do like projects where I just kind of am just on my rap shit. Like I was supposed to put out an EP last year of original quick gasps. You know what I'm saying? And I just had a burden that I couldn't shake no matter what. Like, no, you need to put this project out first. Let this be your origin story. Let this be ground zero. And then wherever you go from there is wherever you go. So that way, when people find out about you 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they can go back to this. And instead of having your typical debut project where you're just trying to pander and cater to everybody, you have a raw, authentic journey of who this is. It's like if Kendrick would have did To Pimp a Butterfly first, or if Kendrick would have did Mr. Morale first. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. I've never heard an artist say an album was a burden.
Yeah.
What was in your mind like? Before the back stuff happens, what was your timeline like when this project was going to come out? Because it's 2023 now.
Oh shit! Like
you know
2019. What I mean? Like I was supposed to be off this. I was supposed to be on tour by now. I'm supposed to you know what I'm saying. But And this was something I realized while we were kind of wrapping everything up. I still had more healing to do. I still have more healing to do, but I wasn't ready to tell the story. I knew that it was a story I needed to tell, but I wasn't ready to tell it yet. And I was kind of conflicted because, and me and Bat would have, shout out Batman, Dark Knight ENT, you know what I'm saying? We would have meetings just figuring out like marketing and promo and shit. And I would tell him, I was like, bro, I don't know what voice I want to tell this from yet. I don't know if I want to tell this from, because overall the goal of the album is for people to listen to it from start to finish. And when they get to that last song and they're just reflecting on it, I just want them to be able to take an audit of themselves and where they are in their healing journey, because everyone goes through self-sabotage in some way, shape, or form, whether it's friendships, relationships, your job, your relationship with your family, whatever the case may be. Like, we all go through doubt, and we all go through trying to find ways to comfort that doubt, and that leads to self-sabotage and us getting away from our purpose or following our cloud.
So you actually never even heal in the album. It's all about the journey to healing.
Yeah. Exactly. And you realize at the end, and I mean, it's not a spoiler because I've already said it's about self-sabotage, I'm the reason why I'm gasping for air. When I was going through all my shit, I never pointed my finger and blamed anybody else for why I'm in the position that I'm in. Do I blame my ex for cheating? Yes. Do I empathize with her because I know her? And like, there's a whole bunch of, it's layered shit, but like, I didn't, she wasn't the trigger for my depression. She wasn't the trigger for my anxiety. She wasn't the trigger for like my, ideation with not being here anymore, which I still deal with, like as recently as like last weekend. Like, I didn't want to wake up. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore. So I still struggle with that. But it was at a point where, and this is where the self-sabotage comes in, it makes you not want to do shit. It makes you want to do nothing. You just want to lay in bed and do nothing and just hope that something happens.
That it passes. Like, I've had moments.
No,
like that
no,
too,
no, not that it passes. You hope that like you fall asleep and you don't wake up, or you're driving and you're at the intersection and you hope someone hits a red light, or, you know, like multiple things. And I've always known I've always known of my talent. I've always known that like I'm good at what I do. I don't like attention. I don't like the focus on me. But, and that's why I say it's a burden, because I know that there's not enough encouraging or inspiring music in hip hop where it's not looked at as corny or like preaching. That's why I love Gifted, bro, because like
Gifted Hands.
Yeah, I love Gifted because like his story and his personality, that's what carries a lot of it. And then yeah, he can rap his ass off. We know that. He can rap his ass off, he can sing, like, and he's only going to continue to get better.
He be flipping signs. Like,
he be flipping signs, going crazy, bro. That shit was hilarious. And he doesn't, and this is what I admire the most about him, and this is what I've learned the most about him, and what I'm kind of in the process now. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He doesn't. You can't. But that was my thing, and that's why I was gasping for air. When I say don't forget to breathe, I'm talking to me. Like, I was saying that to me. Assembly, the go be the hero you needed the most. I wrote that for me.
What was the most recent song that you wrote
for the album?
Yeah, like are all these, like you said, because you said a lot of them are older songs that you're doing new production on.
The most recent one is a song called Versailles. I put like a little trailer up not too long ago. But even that, the title of that came from I was gonna put an album out called Hall of Mirrors. And Versailles is where the Hall of Mirrors is in Italy. Yeah, Italy. The Palace of Versailles.
Do you feel like, let me know if you kind of resonate with this. Like when I listen to my older music, I feel like I was talking to my future self.
Bro, that's exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Assembly is literally me. I literally made the beat and wrote the hook for Assembly maybe about an hour before I was going to take a gang of Oxy, drown it with a lot of whiskey, text my mom I love her, and peace out. And I was on Splice, just scrolling, just trying to find something, anything. And I found that little guitar loop, the doo doo doo. And for whatever reason, I thought of Mac. I don't think Mac had passed yet. No, he had. Mac had passed. And I was fucked up about it. Because for someone who was going through the internal battles that he was going through, that I resonated with and I related to, the fact that he was still such a light and such a positive energy. Like, bro, when he passed, like, it was like every rapper under the sun had a fucking Mac Miller story about like how just cool this motherfucker was. Not even talking about how gifted of a musician he was. Fuck that. It was just the person that he was. And so made Assembly. I made the beat for Assembly, which was just that. It was just a drum loop and then that guitar loop that I found. And I was like, okay. I was starting to hum melodies in my head. But I was like, okay, how do I want to approach this? And then for whatever reason, I just thought of high school me. And it was kind of like that same thing of like, if your 15-year-old, 16-year-old self could see you right now, would they be proud of you? And honestly, I felt the answer was no. I felt that I had completely given up. I wasn't the same kid that I was. I was a confident kid. I wasn't cocky. I was never arrogant, but like I definitely like I enjoyed myself. I loved myself, and somewhere along the line, that wasn't the case anymore. And so I wrote Assembly as kind of like a last. It wasn't gonna be like a suicide note or anything, but it was kind of like, if this is the last thing I write, then let's leave something meaningful, right? So did that, had the hook. I just had the hook. I didn't even have the verse yet. I just had the hook, and I sent it to a couple of homies. This is very long-winded, but I sent it to some homies, and they were like, bro, like, without even knowing my situation, without knowing, like, they knew like I was on bed rest and shit, but like they didn't know that I was going through like my mental shit. And they were just like, dude, like, you have no idea. Like, I needed this at this exact moment. Like, this was the perfect thing I needed. It was just a little 30
The whole
seconds.
time you're like, no, you're like, no, I need this.
Bro, exactly. And but it's crazy because like, even to this day, like that same thing happens where it's like I've gotten like samples of like Don't Forget to Breathe merch where it just has like that little handwritten thing that I did on a hoodie, and damn near every time I wear it out, someone who doesn't even know who the fuck I am, doesn't know I do music, doesn't know anything, they're like, I needed to see that. And that's where I say, that's where the burden comes in. This isn't for me, it's not about me getting popping or being famous or being the biggest rapper anymore. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I just know what I've, by the grace of God, I know what I've survived. I know how difficult it is. I know how isolating it is. I know how hard it is. And I know that the thing that helped me the most was music. And luckily, God graced me with some gifts to make some good sounding music. So I could have stayed on that kick of, yeah, let me just prove that I can rap better than a lot of motherfuckers, you know? But again, like, I felt something when I listened to Lupe. Like, I felt something when I listened to Nicholas F. I felt something when I listened to Mac, these people. So I wanted to go in that lane. So
say maybe somebody else can feel something like listening to your stuff.
that's all. Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, bro. It's crazy. Like, I've never felt suicidal. I've definitely gone through like depressive phases of my life where it was like for like 2 or 3 years at a time sometimes. Like, I didn't, like you're saying, you don't want to do anything. You just don't have energy, anything. For me, it was like, I had this feeling of depression, but I didn't know why. It was like a feeling that I had, but like my life is good.
Yeah.
My life was good. So that was, for me, that was always like what was weird about it. Like, I didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like,
I think, I think for you, it's like, it's like to try to find a brighter side on that. Like you saying, now you can use that experience you can use these experiences like to maybe help somebody else or whatever.
I gotta zoom out, bro. That's it.
Like you said, like you can't take yourself too serious.
Yeah.
For me, like, bro, now, well, first of all, thank you for sharing that with me. I feel like that's, and like, like now it's like, they say suicides are going up, especially with kids, with, like social media and shit like that. Like it's a big problem. I think it's getting worse.
And especially with dudes, and especially dudes that look like me, especially black men. And it's frustrating because like, and I don't know how you grew up, but like the overlaying conversation when it comes to mental health and stuff is, especially as a black man, is grab yourself by the bootstraps and you fight through that shit. I was on suicide watch while I was at ODU because and they put me on medication, and I called my dad on my way to go pick up the medication, and it was just to let him know, like, it wasn't to ask, like, I was just to let him know, like, hey, this is what's going on. I have been clinically diagnosed by 2 different doctors as severely depressed, and ODU has me on watch right now. First question that he asked, not are you okay, not where did this come from, none of that. Question was, what are you depressed about? And it was in this tone of like, I was in a space where I couldn't understand his perspective, but as I've gotten older, as he's gotten more tapped in with his mental health, and our relationship has healed and gotten better, because we didn't have the best relationship growing up. He was always working. It was from a sense of his stepfather. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that shit. You man up and you get over it. I'm a very emotional human being. That's just me. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. That's just me. So, and when I would try to express that as a kid, my dad, who, when you're an only child, you're an only boy, like, you want your dad's validation, like, you want his approval, like, you know what I'm saying? But whenever I would try to express like how I felt, he would say that I was being dramatic, that I was going over the top, or that I was trying to throw pity parties, or that I was like, oh, woe is me, da da da, whatever. He used to say that all the time, and we've had conversations since then. And it was just because it wasn't like he was trying to be dismissive of my feelings, even though that's how it felt at the time. He just didn't understand because he didn't have someone to talk to him about that. So it's a long generational thing where or like you kind of are on your own about it. And like, I've done therapy and I've had like 3 different therapists. I'm looking for a 4th one right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a process, but I think when you have purpose, whether you feel you're qualified for it or not, That's what kind of keeps that fire burning. And like I said, I don't do music anymore to be popular, to make a bunch of money. Do I believe that I'm marketable and do I think I'm worth a lot of money? Yeah. But like and we're working on getting that, and like we will. But that's not my intention. I just want to help that 15-year-old kid who may have that that barrier with his father, because his father does. I think didn't Jack Harlow just did it on his album where he was talking about, it was like a 3-verse song where it was from his brother's perspective, then his perspective, and then his dad, if I remember right.
I don't know if I've heard that one. I heard the one where he was like, I think he was talking about somebody that had like molested a girl.
Yeah,
that he went to high school with.
About like old friends and stuff, and like that was talking about like loyalty. People can say what they want about Jack. That album,
I heard it. Are you fucking with it?
I don't know. I can't say I was fucking with it, but like,
damn, he can't say he was fucking with it.
Just because. So me personally, can Jack Harlow rap? Absolutely. Does he know how to make hit songs? Obviously. I think with this particular project, I understand what he was trying to do, and there are some gems on there. Like I said, that Gang 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 song I really like because I like the concept. The subject matter was iffy, but I like challenging shit. Like when Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale's Auntie Diaries, talking about his aunt having a sex change, and like him using the F word countless times in the song, and like seeing on the timeline how everyone was upset about him using that word, when in actuality he was using that word to show the perspective that he came from. Not saying that he wasn't like advocating for that now, but like when we were kids, and again, this is just me, when I was kids, we would use the word faggot very loosely, and we didn't mean anything by it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until
and it wasn't even nothing. It wasn't even sexual.
It wasn't at all.
It really meant like corny.
It meant weak, where I came from.
Yeah, like on some corny or like something like that. Yeah.
But again, and that's the beautiful thing about open perspectives. I had a friend in high school. His name's Luke, who I remember when like we were really cool, like we were in choir stuff. He came out to me and he was so worried and just scared. And when he saw my reaction, I was just like, okay, cool. And like he just started crying. But maybe like 3 months after that, there was like this incident or whatever, where someone was like yelling like faggot, faggot, faggot in the hallway or whatever. And Luke was like, hey man, and the other guy was a black kid, and he was just like, hey man, like, do you really have to use that word? And the black kid comes from a certain environment where, one, I'm not gonna let no white kid talk to me in any sort of authoritative way whatsoever. But two, especially over something like this. And Luke made a very good point where he was like, okay, so if you're just using that loosely, would you feel a way if I said nigger? And black friend didn't like that, and like was about to swing on him. And like me and like a couple other people had to like get in between them. And it was like, technically, dude, like Luke's right. You know what I mean? Like, you can feel how you feel about certain words or whatever, but just, bro, I don't care who you are, what you do, where you come from. I was always raised, treat people how you want to be treated. Like the most simplest shit. And so like after that moment, then I never used that word again. Even now, just when I just said it for like reference, I like cringed because I couldn't even remember the last time that I said it. What if when Luke came out to you,
yeah, he was hoping that you liked him, and that's why he started crying?
Nah,
he was like, nah, it didn't work.
Nah, I'm pretty sure Luke would say it himself. I'm not his type. So it was.
Now I get what you're saying too on dads. Like me and my dad are like that too. Like we don't really. I feel like I think I got my emotional intelligence from my mom. Mm-hmm. Got like honor, dignity, integrity, other stuff from my dad, stuff like different stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I think for me too, it was just like it was God. Like at my hardest points, I feel like that's probably what was the determining factor where it's like, okay, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
Like it was just the simple just faith that God will help me. And right? It's like it's an easy thing, but it's hard to do.
1,000%,
but it's like
because you
for me that's
really
what it was.
Because you don't see it. It's not tangible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the crazy thing. Is like the one source, the one factor that has never shaken, that has never waved. I am not here if it wasn't for God. I'm not here. I am not in the position that I'm in without His grace, His blessings, His favor, His protection, His mercy. Like, I used to say it all the time, glory's up near or far, whether I'm super close to Him or whether I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never deny the fact that He's real. I'll never deny the fact of what Jesus did for me. And that's just what I believe. And that's the thing about faith. Like, you never know 100%. If you know it's 100%, then it's not faith, it's strategy. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So it's like, yeah, it's and that's where again it goes back to the burden thing. I'm this sounds so pretentious, but like God made me and took me through the experiences that I took, whether I put myself in those situations or not, because some of those I definitely did. But you know, the Bible says all things work together for His good. And I'm not a perfect person, not even close. None of us are. But I think the burden for this project comes from, it's just a raw testimony, bro. Like, I look at like an album, like I keep bringing up Kendrick, but I look at an album like Good Kid, Mad City. That album is a testimony to me. It starts and ends with the Redeemer's Prayer asking for Jesus to forgive us of our sins. Like, it starts and ends with that album. And then it brings you directly to what led to that. It wasn't like a cookie cutter thing. It wasn't. That's another thing. Like, people will like have like their like spiritual revelations or whatever, and that's when they talk about it, and that's when they start having the conversation. It's like, I went through this, and this. And then push it all to the side, and God did this, and God fixed this, and I'm brand new, and that's not me, and da-da-da-da, which is fantastic. That is beautiful. Unfortunately, we're in a day and age where everything is so processed and manufactured, and like we have, like on our phones, like when we scroll Instagram and shit, it's like a never-ending yearbook of highlights. Where's the real shit? Yeah, what led you for this win to be so big that you feel like you should post it? Like, what led to that? And that's what gasping for air is to me. I don't expect everyone to get it, but we already kind of have an idea of what the next project is going to be, and the next project is kind of like, it's where I'm at now. I'm like, not a victory lap, because I definitely...
When's that dropping in 2035? The next one?
Hilarious. No, that a lot sooner than it will not be a 6-year gap. I'll tell you.
Is there a date for gasping for air? Did you drop the date already?
I haven't dropped it officially, but I did do an interview that talked about it, but it's not out yet. And I imagine this one will be out first. So yeah. Here's what we'll do.
We welcome exclusives. We're not pressuring you.
No. I need to.
No pressure.
No. I need to.
Tell us.
It's time. So gasping for air. He's like, tell us. So gasping for air will be released as a double EP on streaming services. The first part will be Act 1, Inhale, which is a re-release of the 2020 EP, but with 2 new songs, including Crescendo, and then updated versions of Assembly featuring Smith, Options featuring Era Hardaway, and then Take the Lead. That releases on August 31st, which is also my 32nd birthday. Act 2, Exhale, will release in late November, early December.
Okay.
If you don't want to wait, because I know that there are people who I'm very, very grateful for that have been around and had that project, the Inhale project from 2020. If you want to hear Act 1 and Act 2 together, the full project will be available for purchase only on my website, tylerdonovan.com, on August 31st. So on August 31st, you will have the option to buy the whole album. If you want to wait until Act 2 drops on streaming, cool, do that. But if you want, it's funny that you asked about if I had put out a project before, because like I said, when I dropped Nimbus, it was cool, but I definitely wasn't in the space that I'm in now. And one of the many cycles of self-sabotage that I had with this album was, how is it going to be received? How would people fuck with it? Because ultimately, this is an act of service. I could have been done just by finishing the project and just having it for me. But because I'm putting it out and we're getting visuals for it and we're doing like a whole thing, this is a service. So this is for other people. And that's how I think more people should view.
That's what real art is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's how people should consume. I think that's a perspective that people should have more when it comes to consuming music. This is an offering. You can still have your opinions about it. If you fuck with something, great. If you don't fuck with something, great. But at the end of the day, realize people, like, this is like, people cooked. Like, this is like a home cooked meal.
I think us as fans even kind of stopped caring about that, because artists used to be like that more, but now we've gotten so used to like so many people that aren't even really artists. They just like see it as a business. Mm-hmm. So they just make stuff like the microwave music, whatever it is. And even us as fans, we don't even really, we're not talking about that like that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But it's a different thing.
But that's why it was kind of funny when Drake said that thing last week about, like, I don't know about these other guys who, you know, go 3-4 years, you know, between albums. It's because they have to live and they have to cook. Like, imagine like Thanksgiving dinner, you used to home cook meals, and then all of a sudden, like one Thanksgiving, oh, we're just gonna get some Popeyes and call it a day. Like, yeah, it's gonna be good, you know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be the same. But you know, everybody has their thing. But again, yeah, Gasping for Air, the full project will be available for purchase on August 31st. If you don't want to buy it and you want to stream it, that's perfectly fine. Just gonna have to wait a little bit. Act 1 will be on August 31st.
Will both the acts be only on the website just for that one day, or just
no.
then on?
Just
okay
until we put Act 2 on streaming.
Yeah, not on Bandcamp, on your own website. What do you? Yeah. Well, first of all, also before we sign off too, what are you like using on your website to use the, like, how's the paywall set up?
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's not.
Because most people would do it on Bandcamp or some solidified place.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, honestly, it'll go on Bandcamp too, because like I do want to build that community up, because that is a community.
But they take a big percentage.
Yeah, the little processing fee. Which
it's not a little. I feel like what is it like?
It's like 15%.
Is it 15?
I think it's like 15.
That's too much.
I get it. I understand it and I agree. But I get it. It's the same thing as like when artists get like these distribution deals, or like when you like partner with like a distribution company. They're gonna take a piece. You know what I'm saying? Now, different companies have different slices that they take, but it's the same thing. Like it happens.
So tylerdonovan.com.
tylerdonovan.com, and then Bandcamp more than likely as well. You can buy the album on August 31st. If you want to wait, you don't want to stream it, that's perfectly fine. I don't feel a type of way. But I will say, again, I'm very grateful to be in the position that I am, where people are checking for this project. Like, people are looking for it. I'm not naive to it.
Come on.
There are people that are looking forward to it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to finally put it out. But if you really are looking forward to it, and if you really want to support this, you know damn well streaming don't do nothing. I'm very grateful to be in a place where I'm getting booked more. So that type of money is.
I feel like I'm at the point now where I've seen you perform at least like more than 5 times,
bro. Yeah. And we have, bro. I'm doing Thank You Gallery on Saturday. I'm doing Commonwealth next Saturday. I'm doing the Can
Fest.
Yeah, I'm doing the Can Fest the Sunday after that.
Okay, so we're gonna be there, I think, on Saturday, right?
That Saturday.
Yeah. How do you say that? If I might as well plug that. So we're gonna be at the Can Fest 2 on July 22nd, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We have it's actually crazy because you were actually there at the first one last year.
Yep.
You were like the headliner, I think, on the rooftop.
I got to perform. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in our video too. So they had us out there. Basically we did a Larry video, right? So they said we could do whatever we wanted. This year, kind of full circle. Now they gave us the whole 4th floor.
Fire.
To do whatever we want. So we're gonna have DJ Sweenog up there spinning, just setting the vibes. But we're using the time as a skit taping.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an off-road skit taping. I might as well say it's gonna be a poetry slam.
Yes.
So it's a group skit. Whoever wants to be in it, come through. And it's gonna be poetry slam theme. So it's gonna be a poetry. Poetry slam is like a battle. Mm-hmm. So just imagine that. Get your poems ready.
What time?
If you want to be in it. So the event is 7 to 10.
Okay, perfect.
And so, but we're probably gonna start shooting around like 8:30.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. So yeah.
And you're gonna be there the next day.
Well, I'm gonna try to pull up because I'm performing at Smart Mouth that same day for NFK Day.
Where's that? Is that nearby?
Smart Mouth Brewery. Yeah, that's I don't have the exact address off the top of my head.
Is it in that just in that area though?
It's like maybe 5 minutes from Assembly, something like that. But I perform at 5.
Come on.
So yeah, so I'll probably try to pull up because I want to do a skit, man.
Yeah, come be in a skit. Look, come be in the off-road skit. We want to have people in this. We want to have. This is our first time doing something like this, so we'll see how it goes.
How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. So pull up, man. Hell yeah. TylerDonovan.com, August 31st.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through. But I feel like this was a long time in the making.
I know, man.
This is like our third reschedule. Some stuff's been coming up. So this is one I've been excited for. I feel like we went into a lot of shit. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And let me say this before we go ahead and get out of here. Dude, congratulations to you.
Thank you,
what you're building. Because we always talk about what's the Virginia scene missing, this, that, and the third. And I don't have the answer because I haven't figured it out yet. So it's kind of counterproductive for me to try to say what the answer is when I haven't figured it out myself. We're all trying to figure it out. But one thing that I think is special about what you're doing is you're taking these people that are in this creative scene that I know we all love so much, and you're providing them an opportunity to just speak and just tell their story. And there's others as well, and shout out to them as well. But you've created a lane for yourself that is creative, that is engaging, that is exciting, and it's like it's breaking down like, bro, like I know I told you this already, but that Wiz shit was so cool to me.
Me too.
Like
Come
it was
on,
just
bro. I came up on Wiz, bro.
Like it was so tight. So like, just know like you're very, very much appreciated and championed in this scene. I feel like I'm not the flag bearer. I'm not going to say I speak for everybody.
I appreciate that, man.
What you're doing is very special, and I'm excited to see where it goes because I know the vision is a lot bigger than this. Like I know you're just getting started, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So thank you for having me.
That's love, bro. I appreciate that. We're trying to do our best, man. I think we need more platforms. Mm-hmm. I think we need more things. Like I've been saying, I really believe in this area too. I believe in myself. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm gonna do, but I also really do believe in this area and a lot of our artists. I think we can bring something new to the game.
1,000%.
And not just do it just to do it. Yeah. Like we could really be innovative.
And do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And like not have to rely, like, bro, the biggest takeaway I got from Mighty Dream was when Pharrell was like, yo, this is awesome and I will continue to bring these resources and cool. But like, this shouldn't need me. This should just be a spark where it's like, y'all don't need me. It should be at a point where like Push is like, y'all don't need me and we just want to add fuel to the fire. That's what they want to do. They don't want to start the fire.
We got to start the fire.
We have to start the fire. And if we're all worried, if everyone's worried about, oh, let's use my match. No, nigga, let's just light the damn fire and just keep that motherfucker burning.
I've been saying every year since 2018 that this is the year that it's gonna happen. But I think I was being naive, I think, before, but I think this year really feels different. I really think 2023, things about to change out here.
I hope so.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
But I think,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like-
think the beautiful thing is that all we can do is our part. We can't make anybody do their part, or we can't make anybody figure out what their part is.
Whoever's gonna do it is gonna do it.
And that's why,
You know what
again,
I'm saying? Like,
that's why, again, salute to you, because you're doing it in your way, and you're creating opportunities for us. You know what I mean? To be able to cross over this,
shout
like,
to
bro.
Kieran, shout to Larry.
Yeah,
couldn't do it without those two guys.
Of course.
TC, Avery. Yeah, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
But yeah, hell yeah. That really might be a fire spot to leave him at.
Yeah.
We going crazy. Yeah, 2023, man. Look out for VA, man. Look out for 757 specifically.
And look out for Tyler Donavan.
Look out for Tyler Donovan. TylerDonovan.com. August 31st.
The cloud is moving. Don't forget to breathe.
Come on.
You know what it is.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace. That's the first time I ever waved to everybody. That was kind of weird.
Yes.
Thank you, bro.
Let's
Peace.
go.